Hello everyone, this is Jesse the Literate Barbarian. Today I'm going to bring you a clip of an interview from Rachel Maddow and Hillary Clinton. I think it was from May 1st or something like that. And I think it's ridiculous enough to play. So here we go. Here we go. We're going to play it in three separate pieces because I'm not going to I wouldn't want to make you listen to all of it. 8 minutes of Hillary Clinton talking. But here we go.
Fleshing out that factual record about what actually happened, including what happened with the Russian attack in 2016.
Right.
I wondered, as you read the Mueller report, the parts of it, at least that we can read, did you learn new things about what happened to you and your campaign in 2016 that you didn't know before reading it?
I learned more, and I learned more detail.
Okay.
But here's the important thing to me. What I learned is that the Russians were successful. I don't think there's any way to read that report and not conclude they accomplished what they set out to do. They had an objective to sow discord and divisiveness within our society at large and to help Donald Trump, and they succeeded. So let's move our vision.
All right. Let me go ahead and come back real quick because I just have a bit to say about that. I find it the idea that Hillary Clinton would be saying this after she also worked with the Russians and the Ukrainians. You know, she worked with an ex-British spy who used Russian sources to create a dossier that was highly fabricated that got this whole Russia collusion narrative started and ended up being a big excuse for the original FISA warrant. Are you kidding me? Like, is this serious? We seriously going down this road that supposedly Donald Trump was the only one who benefited from Russian intelligence when the huge, I don't know, special counsel that lasted 2 years and a total of a 3-year investigation of Trump and everyone surrounding Trump who were spied on because of Russian information that was pulled for a ridiculous FISA. I mean, seriously, this is where we're at now. Like, I find that absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so I got a couple more pieces. Hold on 1 second here. All right, Hillary Clinton from the same interview, part 2.
And I'll tell you, Rachel, I've met with most of the candidates who are running this time and answer their questions. And I always tell them, you can run the best campaign. You can be the person who gets the nomination. But unless we know how to protect our election from what happened before and what could happen again, because there's greater sophistication about it, you could lose. And I don't mean it to scare anybody, but all
right, let me come back here again, because that's the second piece. And she had another interview within the last week as well, saying, almost making an excuse again, that as if Russia took this election and she didn't lose the election. First, we should just completely dispel the whole notion that maybe she ran a perfect campaign. She didn't. Her campaign was very poorly run and lost to the Donald Trump campaign, which was in some cases non-existent. Huge scandals were happening constantly. Just piece after piece was coming out about, the Access Hollywood tape, all kinds of stuff that would destroy most people's runs for president. And he just keeps on going along because Hillary Clinton did not run a good campaign. And it wasn't Russians that beat her. They didn't make her not go, to places in the Midwest that she ended up losing. When the blue wall fell. It's like revisionist history. It's crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff. All right. I got one more piece. Give me 1 second here. Here we go.
we're going to do what they tell us. Imagine, Rachel, that you had one of the Democratic nominees for 2020 on your show. And that person said, The only other adversary of ours who's anywhere near as good as the Russians is China. So why should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly backing Republicans, why don't we ask China to back us?
I hereby tonight ask China.
That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you. Now, according to the Mueller report, that is not conspiracy because it's done right out in the open. So if after this hypothetical Democratic candidate says this on your show, within hours, all of a sudden the IRS offices are bombarded with incredibly...
I don't think there's anything else we really need from this. But yeah, she goes on and she, gives this hypothetical situation where she's also trying to call on China to get Trump's taxes, to try to burn him now. Because in that one famous speech, he was like, I wish they could find her 33,000 deleted emails or whatever it was when she destroyed evidence that was supposedly just family emails and whatnot, but completely destroyed emails that we have no idea what was in them. And then he called for the Russians to find them, which they were never found, but I think that's was right before they hacked into John Podesta's email. I can't remember, but I think they'd already been in her server, so it wasn't like that part had already happened. There was more information that was released, but it's kind of, I just think it's kind of ridiculous. It's like she tried to act like she takes the high road, but then she still calls for this to happen to him because she's saying it facetiously, right? But come on, she would love for China to break in and get Trump's information. And the difference is, and she ends up saying, she mentions government servers or something like that. They should be able to get into government servers. When her stuff was stolen from her personal email server, that was like in a bathroom or whatever. They're not exactly comparable, but she's still pushing this idea that the election was stolen from her because it revealed things that she had done, especially while she was a Secretary of State. And into her campaign, it's just ridiculous. It's like all this stuff is revisionist history stuff. I just wish Hillary would go away. I don't hate you, Hillary. I just think you're bad for the Democratic Party. you're not great for any of that stuff, and it's done. Like you ran a poor campaign. You lost to Obama once, then you lost to Trump. It's over. Like I think it's time to move on and going on these different shows and trying to play this game of, well, the reason why I lost was this. No, you lost because you ran a poor campaign. That's it. It's done. The 2016 election is over. Donald Trump won based on the rules that we had. I don't think the Russians had any major sway in, Wisconsin, Michigan, places like that. I don't think so. You could try to say whatever. The Russians did so well that she won the popular vote by 3 million. And she didn't campaign in certain states that she lost by 20 to 80,000 votes. So let's just stop that. It's just ridiculous. All right, that's all I have for right now. All right, I'll see you later, bro. Bye-bye.